would just start with just kind of what we just touched on a minute ago. It's tenant experience, right? And also the user experience that's using the software. I think those are critical, and you want to have something that's going to be easy for those tenants to rent the unit. So I'd probably key on that. Also, um, integration needs, which I already touched on, right, as well. And then also working with a software solution that's scalable as well. As you grow, you can actually, the software can actually grow with you.
Yeah, and I think just like, how involved do they want to be in their operations? Of course, like there are tons of people who want to automate and run it as unmanned as possible, but there are also still operators out there that want to be really involved. So will your software work for both scenarios, where you can truly run your business however you want? And again, tying back to those integrations, can you pick and choose what you want? And like Steve said, the all-in-one is a great option too. So do you have kind of both options? I can get everything I want in one place, or I have the freedom to choose. I just think it's really important that we give our customers the option to run their business how they want, but also the tools to do it with us if they want to entirely as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, as you look at the end-to-end solution, it's, how do you optimize that tenant lifecycle? And today there's expanding options in terms of how tenants want to interact with you as a company. And so whether that's online or in the facility, there's the flexibility to be able to optimize that tenant experience. It's continuing. We've seen kind of the trends kind of flatten in terms of demand in the market. And so it becomes incredibly important that you're out in front of those customers, you're showing up and interacting with them in a way that they want to interact with you, whether that's online or in the facility, and then how that experience is all the way through to move out. And so having that seamless experience is going to result in those great reviews that those consumers are going to see online and result in repeat business. And so we want to make sure that we're maximizing that tenant experience. On the flip side, ensuring, and I think, we talked about, Alyssa and Steve both talked about, from an operator experience, how do you ensure that you're picking a solution that's adapting to your business and configurable so that you can leverage it and gain adoption without having to shift your business to work the way that the software wants you to work. And so I think that's an incredible, a key part of that. The other piece that we're continuing to see that we have to pay a lot of attention to is there's increasing number of compliance issues that are happening in the market. And so the most recent in California with fees and fees regulations, you want to make sure that you're picking a vendor that's supporting your ability to deal with those compliance issues as they start to come up. And so that's another critical component.
I think we see that a lot from the associations are pushing that as well, depending on the region, but also around Europe as well. They'll make it a mandate, right? You have to have an ID verification in the UK now. It's if you're a part of the association. Right. So that kind of drives software within that region to make that an absolute requirement, and that kind of pushes a feature set of the software sometimes.
But as you brought up, then there's a compliance piece of it, because then as you're dealing in the UK with the privacy laws in the UK of checking ID, there's
who stores that data?
Where are you storing it and how are you complying with those pieces of it? So it's there's a lot of nuance there to deal with for sure.